the chart more so to get it correct.
Yeah.
The references I know I can find.
Right, right.
So I don't know how you feel about that, but you know, that's
yeah, as long
getting it, learning how to get it correct.
I agree.
Is more important to me than, because I know the references I can get.
Yeah.
So,
I think that that's fine. Overseas, they're not going to have that computer.
no, I realize that.
So they're not going to be able to just look up what we can look up. So, and that's the only way. It's hard, but that holds them safe. You're trying to give them a tool to teach that you can walk away with, and it self-corrects. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it has its own quality control without you there. And that's why the cross-reference. They've got to go get that cross-reference because that's what protects them from accidentally teaching something wrong. Or at least it makes it more difficult. Okay, so assignment number 16 is an outlining assignment. Let's just go through that as a class. Okay, we'll just go kind of quickly. We'll read it together and just tell me when you think there's a break. Let's see how we do. So we're going to go ahead and go through this. We'll see what we get done. Matthew 13, 24 to 43 is the text we're looking at. We're all good back there, Rick? Yeah. Mind if I put these beepers on? I want to be smart like Adamino. All right, so
Matthew 13, 24 through.
What kind of an outline are we going to use?
General.
General outline. General outline. Okay, general outline. So it's going to go like 1, 2, 3, right? Or we don't know how many there are.
Right.
Okay, so let's break it up. Let's read it, and I want you guys to say, hey, stop there, that's a break. Okay? Another parable he put forth to them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is like a man who sowed good seed in his field. But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way. But when the grain had sprouted and produced a crop, then the tares also appeared. So the servants of the owner came and said to him, Sir, did you not sow good seed in your field? How then does it have tares? He said to them, An enemy has done this. The servants said to him, Do you want us then to go and gather them up? But he said, No, lest while you gather up the tares, you also uproot the wheat with them. Let both grow together until the harvest, and at the time of harvest I will say to the reapers, First gather together the tares and bind them in bundles to burn them, but gather the wheat into my barn. Stop. Pretty obvious, right? So that's easy. So we'll say, here's our verses. So 13, 24 through 30. What are we going to call that?
Wheat and tares.
We'll just call it wheat and tares. The next one starts in verse 31. 13, 31. Parables are pretty easy to outline. Another parable he put forth to them, saying, The kingdom of heaven is like a mustard seed, which a man took and sowed in his field, which indeed is the least of all the seeds. But when it is grown, it is greater than the herbs, and becomes a tree, so that the birds of the air come and nest in its branches. Stop. I'd stop right there. It's the end of that parable. That's the parable of
Mustard seed.
Mustard seed. Another parable. Another parable he spoke to them. The kingdom of heaven is like leaven. Always makes me upset. Which a woman took and hid in 3 measures of meal till all was leavened. All these things Jesus spoke to the multitudes in parables, and without a parable he did not speak to them. That it might be fulfilled, which was spoken by the prophet, saying, I will open my mouth in parables. I will utter things kept secret from the foundation of the world. Okay, so yeah, you've got 2 options there. You could just, I probably, because parables have their own main point, I would break that out, even though it's only 1 verse. Parables, you can break your rule, because if it's the end of a parable, you really should take that whole parable and look at it all by itself. So let's call that the leaven parable. Yeah. Number 4, so that's going to be 13, 34 through 35, huh? Now we're cutting, you'll probably like this, Bob, you're cutting them pretty thin. But this one's, these are pretty self-explanatory. Explanation is in that verse, those verses. Then number 5. Then Jesus sent the multitude away and went into the house, and his disciples came to him, saying, "Explain to us the parable of the tares of the field." He answered and said to them, "He who sows the good seed is the Son of Man. The field is the world. The good seeds are the sons of the kingdom, but the tares are the sons of the wicked one. The enemy who sowed them is the devil. The harvest is the end of the age, and the reapers are the angels." Now, this is going to be really easy when we chart it. Every symbol we're supposed to know has now been told us. It's not real hard. Therefore, as the tares are gathered and burned in the fire, so it will be at the end of this age. And we know the tares are what?
The ungodly, the ones that crept into the church.
The sons of the wicked one. Guess what's going to happen to the sons of the wicked one? According to Jesus, they're going to burn. The Son of Man will send out his angels. The angels were what? The harvesters, the gatherers. And they will gather out of his kingdom all things that offend and those who practice lawlessness, and will cast them into the furnace of fire. So, how are they going to burn in the furnace of fire? There will be wailing and gnashing of teeth. Then the righteous will shine forth as the sun in the kingdom of their Father. He who has ears to hear, let him hear. Stop. 1336.
Interpretation.
Yep, through, what was that? 43. Interpretation. Okay, that's your outline. Pretty easy, huh? Pretty straightforward. Do you think you could have found all those by yourself?
Mm-hmm.
You might have loved this one, but you probably, when you studied it, would have studied that even though you had not split it out. Because it's its own parable. Pretty easy. Okay, so how about charting? In Matthew 13, 24 through 30, if you're going to chart it, where's my eraser?
Do we need to do this on a separate piece of paper? Can we do it in the book?
I'm going to just breeze through the charting because I just want to make some points.
So do we need to do it in our book or on a separate piece of paper, or does it matter?
Do it your way. Okay, so what was the first slice?
13, 24 through 30.
13, 24 through 30?
What page is that on? It's on 67.
What are the 3 parts of inductive Bible study, the study itself? Observation, interpretation, application. Okay? Again, I'm moving pretty quick for the sake of time. So, what are the key elements of Matthew 13, 24? Give me some key words.
Parable.
Parable, that tells you a lot, right? Kingdom of heaven. You want to pick that one out, right? Because when you look at kingdom of heaven, you got to figure out what?
Which one?
Church. Yeah, Israel, the church, or eternal life afterwards. You got to figure that out. So when you got to answer that question. Every time you see that, you got to answer that question before you start the parable. Okay, the kingdom of heaven is like a man who sowed good seed. Okay, don't write every word. Remember, this is a parable, so you're looking for the key elements. Jesus has revealed the key elements.
Good seed.
What are the key elements?
A man and the seed.
A man.
Good seed.
Good seed.
And a field.
A field. Where's that? Yeah, his field. His field. Okay. When? Sprouted.
That's verse 25.
Crop.
Let's get 25.
Do we need to write the verses next to it, Dad?
Oh, man, I skipped a verse. Okay. Keywords. While men slept. While men slept. Now, Jesus didn't talk much about that, but isn't it a bit odd that he would put that in? While men slept. It doesn't say while his servants slept. It doesn't say while the harvesters slept. Pretty vague, isn't it? While men slept. So, I've seen entire sermons on condemning people for being spiritually asleep. And can we find some scriptures for that? Oh, absolutely. Jesus said, stay awake a lot. And they had a hard time. But when do men sleep? So he didn't say while his harvesters or laborers slept. He just said while men slept. Right? Anyways, I'm interpreting, sorry.
Yeah.
While men slept. Okay. His enemy. Okay. Let me tell you a little something. So, tares among wheat. That's a pretty important one, isn't it? Went his way. I don't know if that's all that key. I mean, you can say went his way, but I don't know if you need to record it. But
Next verse now.
when, grain sprouted, crop, then tares also appeared. And we're going to run out of room real quick.
Yep.
Okay, so let's look at what we have here. I'm just going to say, let's say we did the whole slice. Okay? Let's just say we did it, the whole slice. So we're going through our interpretation now. Okay? What did the original hearer think it meant when they heard about a parable? What is a parable?
A story, a common everyday story.
Revealing the mysteries of heaven.
Okay? Do you have cross-reference to prove that parables are that?
Jesus said, Jesus said it.
Sure.
So,
There we go, I'm sorry. He did say it. Pardon me. Matthew 13:35. Matthew 13:35 says he's revealing secrets with these stories.
Heavenly secrets?
Heavenly secrets. Sorry, no. Things kept secret from the foundation of the world.
But
Mike!
there is a place that says that he's There,
Okay,
everything.
you might find it later.
Okay.
Okay, kingdom of heaven. All right. Ding, 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 ding. What are we talking about?
Church.
Okay, this is the church. How do we know that?
History.
How do we know this is the church?
Because there's an enemy in here we're not gonna find in heaven.
Wicked ones, ungodly people, right?
And he tells us.
Pre-judgment, correct?
There's a sower doing that kind of work.
There's gospel sowing, gospel sowing. These are all indicators that this is not eternal heaven. A man. Is it Israel?
No, because I think, God did not create Israel by sowing here and there
Right.
in the world.
Right. He did create the church for the hearing of God's word. A man. Now this is where we have to, our cross-references become pretty easy, don't they? A man. Who is the man? Give me an interpretation of the man.
Son of man?
To 30. Jesus tells us where? Later on in the chapter. He says that he who sows the good seed is the Son of Man.
Where at?
And 37, 13, 37.
That makes for an easy cross-reference. The good seed.
Yes, the good seed is field is the world, the good seeds are the sons of the kingdom. Next verse 38.
13:38. See how easy these. This is the one thing about parables. When Jesus interprets them, they're really nice. Field.
And same verse. The kingdom, the field is the world.
Okay. While men slept. Does Jesus tell us what that meant?
No.
So we got to understand what people thought about what that meant.
Nighttime.
Nighttime. Darkness.
Death.
Was that death?
Death.
Yeah, they probably didn't think that though. But what are they thinking? What's been the point throughout the scriptures? The point has been these people are not coming. The really cool thing about false teachers and false wicked people is they do not come in with t-shirts and say, "Hi, I'm a false prophet, I'm a false teacher." Right? So this is nighttime and darkness. What's the point of coming in the dark?
To sneak in.
Secretly. Got it? Secretly. You're not, because they don't even know for quite a while. They don't even know. It's a secret.
Yeah. It's not
Joe, this is going to freak you out. You probably have this in your church and you don't even know it. Oh, yeah. His enemy came. His enemy. Who's his enemy?
Satan.
No, don't give it, you got to say what it says.
The devil.
The devil. Okay, so we know that from Matthew 13:39. This is interesting. Whose enemy is he? Who's the owner's enemy? He is Jesus's enemy. Now, I'll tell you what. I want you to think about that for a little bit. That encourages me. Because when he's my enemy, he freaks me out. But when he's Jesus' enemy, I get excited. Because Jesus is going to crush his enemies. It's promised that the Father shall put everything under Jesus' feet. So sometimes when I hear people say, our enemy is against us. And it feels intimidating. Stop saying that. Start saying, Jesus' enemy is against us. No problem. Jesus vanquishes, right? sowed tares among the wheat. Now we have to interpret this. We know the good seed are sons of the kingdom. We know the tares are sons of the evil one, right? Sons of the wicked one. So let's just say it the way it says. The devil secretly,
It doesn't say that what the tares are.
it says the tares
Sons of the wicked
are
one.
the sons of the wicked one, verse 38. The devil secretly put his children in what?
The kingdom of heaven.
In the church. Among the sons of God. That's huge. That's really, really, really big. And if we pay attention to this, it makes interpreting the next few chapters or the next few parables really easy. I mean, isn't this the point of the leaven and the woman? Isn't this the point of the birds and the seed? It is. That's huge. Just stop and just think about what that means. Bob, the devil is secretly putting in his children into the midst of the church. That's strategic.
They sit on the boards too.
They may.
I guarantee you.
They may. They make decisions. They may even be pastors. And they're here in the church. That is something. Now, why would Jesus tell us these things? Because we go down here and we do exactly what the disciples do. Can we go head hunting? Jesus, let us go head hunting. And Jesus says, don't you worry about that. Let both grow together till the end of the age, till the harvest. God will separate them and get 100% right. And this is why Paul can say, some people are preaching just to add misery to my chains. But you know what? I don't care as long as they're preaching. As long as they're preaching the gospel right. And so we might have unsaved pastors, unsaved ministers, reading and teaching the Bible and not going to heaven. Many shall say to me, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in your name, cast out demons in your name, and done great wonders in your name? And I will declare to them, Jesus said, I don't know you. Wow! Is that possible? Is it really, 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 really possible? It couldn't possibly be that there is miracle-working people in the midst of God's chosen ones who are actually sons of the... What does Jesus call Judas? Son of perdition. One of you is, what did Jesus say? The devil. I mean, as he's saying this, one of them is sitting out there going, think about that. I don't have a cross-reference off the top of my head where he said, one of you is the devil. It's in when he first chooses. Now, when does he say that? See if you can look it up. Rick, when does he say one of you is the devil for the disciples? And one of you is the devil.
It isn't when he first chooses him.
Wow.
That's something amazing there, though. So, this is tares among the wheat. This is from Matthew 13:38. Right? One of you is the devil.
Now, one thing that I don't understand is Jesus says to seek these guys out and not associate with them.
If you know someone who is openly in sin,
I got that already here.
one is the devil?
Yeah.
John 6.
John 6:70. It's right after he.
You beat me.
70?
Yeah.
670?
70. It's right after he, with all the talk about you shall eat my flesh and drink.
Oh.
And
Did I not choose you?
Yeah.
And one of you is the
That's when
devil.
he said, are you going to leave me too? And Peter said, who shall we go to? You've
Yeah.
got the words of eternal life. And then he says, yeah, and I've chosen you too, but one of you is the devil.
One of you is the devil. One of you is a terror. And they didn't know, right? That's the thing with the but. They didn't know. They actually said, is it I? Is it me? I'm not the one. That'd be scary. I can't imagine if Jesus Christ came into this group and said, one of you is absolutely not going to heaven. In fact, it's better if you've never lived. You're going to burn forever and ever and ever. And we'd all, can you imagine?
The equivalent of saying one of you is the Antichrist.
I want you just to think about that. That would freak me out. Anyways, I'd be freaked out. I'd say the same thing. It's not me. Is it me? It's not me. No, please.
It is someone to repent.
Don't you believe that they had no real concept of who God is? But Judas did know Jesus. Right? Judas knew who Jesus was.
Absolutely. He was pierced himself through with sorrow because of greed.
Right. So the guys that are on TV that are preaching these false doctrines, do you think that they
may not
know Jesus,
know.
but they're just after money? Or but they just don't know? I
don't know.
Things that they say and have a knowledge of God.
I'll tell you what, at the end of the age, why don't you and I go talk to the angels and see if they really knew or whether they just were deceived themselves. Because the scriptures say if you hear and do not do, you deceive yourself. If you know you're deceived, Joe, if you know you're deceived, guess what? You're not. You can only be deceived if you don't know that you're deceived.
Well,
So they're deceived.
Exactly.
And they just don't even understand.
It's fine. You can't. This is God. This is
okay
God.
for me to make $13 million a year.
It's God blessing me. Are you kidding me? And they really believe they deceived themselves because they're reading the word and not doing it. They're just saying, "Oh yeah," living their own life. So they deceive themselves. Okay, so here's the but. What does that mean? But this looks pretty bad.
but the grain spreading.
If it ended right here, that looks pretty bad, huh? But to me says, there is hope, and it's not a secret to God. That's what but says. But, don't worry about that. Don't worry about it. And then we have the reaction. When the grain, there comes a time when the grain sprouts, the crop, then the tares also appear. There comes a time they actually get recognized. You ready for this? How they get recognized, Joe? You shall know them
By the truth.
by their fruits.
Where does it say that?
False prophets.
That's in
Matthew
Sermon of the Mount,
chapter 6, maybe? 6 or 7.
I think it's 7. Let's see.
You shall know them by their fruits. Yeah.
I wonder if there was
Matthew
actually a conversation.
7:18. Matthew 7:18. Shall know them by their fruits.
I wonder if there's actually a conversation that the angels had with God saying, "Oh my goodness, look at, there's guys down there corrupting your church. Let's go get them."
Well, it wasn't the angels, it was his laborers. He was saying, he's wondering if the angels are stunned by the amount of wicked people in the church. But the reference to his laborers was a reference to us. We're the one who suddenly go, "Whoa, what happened?"
They're not surprised at it.
They know. Especially since it's his work.
Pam knows.
Pam knows. All right, so we could go through the whole thing. Do you think you've got this? When Jesus does the interpretation, it's pretty easy.
Yeah.
But make sure you put the cross references in. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Application for this? What would be the application? Never go to bed.
Keep your eyes open. Go to sleep.
Never go to bed, right? Actually, the application is down here. It's going to be down here when they say, hey, can we go do something? That's action, right? Don't we all want to go do something? And Jesus says, relax.
Okay. I'll take care of it.
Relax. It's going to be taken care of. And so, I mean, I can tell you, this brings peace to me. That the part we didn't put up there where they actually say, hey, can we go do something? He says, no, you might get it wrong.
Yeah, so you don't go out and attack.
I do, but I have to repent often. But yeah, that's the point. I mean, you got to go for it if it's clear, if you're not confused, if it's not entangled the believers in some way that you're going to damage them. There are times, Joe, in your own life where if you revealed the full truth, innocent bystanders would be harmed.
I wrestle with it all the time. It's one of the biggest things because I talk to, other pastors and, godly men. I'm not talking about the false teachers, but godly men. And they say your approach, your approach is just wrong. It's too harsh.
Well, they haven't
I
met
go home
me.
and I wrestle with it. I think, am I being too?
Tell them to read Dave Hunt's book.
Yeah, I know. I just read it for a second.
Yeah, you enjoyed it. It's your favorite devotional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I haven't read it in 20 years. I just read it again, and it was like it was written last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's scary. But you see the way other people look at you for doing that. They're saying that what you're doing is you're being judgmental, and you're, saying who it is. And that's where the problem with the church is. And my view on that is the problem isn't that I'm saying it. The problem is that you're not saying it.
Right.
You need to stand up for me and not go along with them and say and condemn me for what I'm saying, but you need to be saying the same thing.
Yeah, the danger is, in his parable, he says, no, don't go rip it out.
Right. Leave it go.
Let it go.
Let the angels say.
We'll deal with it. But it doesn't say ignore. We are supposed to address false teachers. We're told in Jude to fight.
Right.
Epaganizomai. Pop them in the face. I mean, it's spiritually speaking.
Right.
We're supposed to hate sin. We're supposed to hate false teaching. Right. We're supposed to hate corruption and apostasy. And so, what does he mean when he says later on? When he says, no, the servant said to him, that's us, do you want us then to go and gather them up? You want us to just take them out?
Right.
His response is no. And here's his reason. Lest, while you gather up the tares, you also uproot the wheat with them. Let both grow together until the harvest, and at the time of harvest I will say to the reapers, first gather together the tares and bind them in bundles to burn them, but gather the wheat into my barn. So here's what I get out of that, for me, is if I can remove it, I will, but I'm never going to clear this field. Joe, you and I, Adamino, Darren, Bill, Bob, Mike, Rick, we're never, ever going to clear this field. We will not be able to get the dandelions out. We may want to, and where you can, I'd say get it out. But they wanted to go through the whole field and make it pure, and the master said it ain't going to happen. Why? Because this woman's hiding leaven in there. And guess what? You're going to go to sleep again. And in the nighttime, guess what's going to happen? There'll be more seeds.
Yeah.
And it's a process that is going to continue. It's going to be a mixed kingdom all the way until the end of the age. At the end of the age, no mixture. Hallelujah.
That example is so perfect. But one time we used to grow seaweed.
Seaweed?
Seedweed.
Oh,
We grew it
seedweed.
to sell to a seed company for wheat. And
Okay.
we had to go
Gotcha.
through and take out every weed by hand
Every one of them.
in acre to acres of it. And you know what? You never
You
get them
never
all.
got them all
You
out.
never got them all.
Never got them all
It's an
out.
impossible job.
So let me reiterate that for those who didn't hear on the internet. So Bill was saying that they used to grow seed for wheat. And so they had to actually go through the fields and try and remove every weed that was in there to keep the seed pure. And they worked real hard, and they were never able to fully purify that field. There was always some weed mixed in that they couldn't get out. And I think that's exactly the point, is that and I'll give you an example. There are people that spend their entire ministry chasing heretics, chasing false teachers. I mean, I think we should deal with them, but it shouldn't be our focus, man. We've got to water the plants. We got to tend to the crops. You know, we can't just be attacking the weeds. We got to make sure that something else is growing. So,
Because when you pull out the weed, you may be pulling out the plant.
you may be damaging. It may be damaging. Yeah. All right. Mark 4, 1 through 29. I would assign an outlining of it and charting of it. Do you think you could outline and chart Mark 4, 1 through 29 before tomorrow? If that's your only homework assignment, if I don't give you any more, could you outline and chart Mark 4, 1 through 29? If so, I will teach the last lesson now. And then tomorrow, when I teach about false Christian teachers, bring all your friends, Mike. I'm teaching on the cults and the false spiritual. You don't have any friends? Yeah, but he said you weren't very friendly.
That's true.
You want us to bring the girls tomorrow?
Everybody.
No, the girls from,
The house of truth.
Whatever they want to do. It's up to them. Ask them. They may need to like rest their voices or whatever.
Yeah, they're all 3 hours.
Yeah, they're all 3 hours behind.
Yeah, you guys, you lost 3 hours in a year.
First we're slow, and now we're behind. Anything else you want to say about West Coast people?
Take that.
I know.
You've only got one blinking light in your town. What can we say?
We do. Blinking lights goes to a bush. There's no honking. Well, I take that back. There is honking. When people go out in the field, you know how they call their cows? They honk their horn and the cows come running. So there is honking. So I'm going to make an assignment, and then I'm going to teach on prophecy, and that will be the end of inductive Bible study, and we will start false Christian teachers. But seriously, Mike, if you know anybody who would like to know anything about the cults, I'll teach on the cults tomorrow, which includes the modern movements.
Yeah, that's the ones I'd like to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
So our assignment for the homework, Adamino, it's the only assignment today. Can you do assignment number 18?
Sure.
And 19, which is just to outline and chart Mark 4, 1 through 29. And turn it in to me.
What's Mark 4 about?
Well, you're going to read Mark 4, 1 through 29. You have to tell me what it's about. He's trying to get me to summarize it for him.
you want us to do that tonight?
Tonight. That's your only homework. I'm going to do another class. I'm not going to give you any more homework than that.
Okay.
I'm going to touch on prophecy. Now, here's the thing. Okay, I'm going to teach on prophecy, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to wrap it up. So we may go a little long. We're supposed to be done by 4. I may be able to do it. We'll see. But I want to wrap it. It'll be all wrapped up. Tomorrow will be a fresh new one. Okay? Colts tomorrow. There are other things I could teach. We could talk about that. You can look at our list of curriculum. But
Chart Mark 4, 1 to 9.
1 to 9. Outline Mark 4, 1 to 29. Chart. Sorry, you're right. Hey, you're a good observer.
Yes.
Because it's homework.
Yes.
Outline Mark 4, 1 to 9, 29. Chart. Mark 4, 1 to 9. I bet that Mark 4, 1 to 9 is your first slice.
You're going to go ahead and shut down this session then and bring up number 10.
Okay, shut her down. For those of you who are on the internet, we're just going to close this session, and in just a couple minutes, we're going to pop the new one back up, and we're going to start prophecy.
Take a quick run to the gun.
Perfect.